Right back to you. Eli Manning was on the show earlier this week, and he was talking about how Russell Wilson should start the entire season if he's playing well, and that's a good situation for Jackson Dart. Your thoughts on the theory that Russ gets the ball and not Jackson Dart week one out of the gates?
I wouldn't do it. Eli Manning knows a whole heck of a lot more about being the Giants quarterback than I do. But when I look at this season, this is job preservation for Brian Daboll and Joe Schoen. That's job one, okay? By the way, that's everybody. I'm just trying to get one more day out of this gig. You know, everybody's just trying to survive in advance. But for them, they have to have 9 wins, 10 wins, or proof of concept with Jackson Dart to say, hey, this is going to progress next season. We can't mess this up. So I would start Jackson Dart immediately and let him see what he has.
Okay, Jackson Dart starting immediately. Harry Douglas, your response to that?
Hell no. Not doing it. Can't do it. Won't do it.
Won't do it.
No, I don't see, why are we rushing to start Jackson Dart? When you have 2 veteran quarterbacks in Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston in that room. Now, I can probably see it if we didn't have those veteran guys in there, but allow him to get acclimated to the National Football League, to learn how to be a pro, to understand what it means to study tape from a game perspective. And also, when I look at their schedule, I don't want them going toe-to-toe right off the bat with Jayden Daniels, Dak Prescott, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert. And then when you look across the National Football League, right, and you look at starting quarterbacks. So when I look at Drake May, who didn't start right away, but everyone is high on him. When I look at Lamar Jackson, who didn't start right away, but has won 2 MVPs. When you look at Patrick Mahomes, who sat an entire year, and he is the standard in the National Football League, and the list goes on and on and on. You can mention Jordan Love, you can mention Jalen Hurts, you can mention a lot of other guys. Allow this guy to be primed, to be sizzled. Allow him to bake a little bit, like my baked chicken in the oven. I don't want it cooked fast. Allow it to process. Allow him to get acclimated to the National Football League. Don't start him right away.
D. Wood, get in here.
I'm just going to be nuanced about it. I think when the young man is ready. I think, that's why training camp is so important. Training camp will tell you, I've always said you can't fool the players. And so when we see players see all the snaps in training camp, they know who the guy is. We know who Russell Wilson is. We know who Jameis Winston is. But if Jackson Dart comes out in training camp and shows that he can handle that, then you put him in and you don't look back. And that's it. You don't look back.
Jackson Dart is a rookie. Last year, there was a rookie in Chicago. The season didn't go quite as planned. However, year 2, he's got all the weapons he could ask for and the biggest name as far as a head coach hire. That's Caleb Williams. And someone here has a bold prediction about what the Bears are going to do this season. Plus, will the Rodgers experiment work in Pittsburgh? I'm going to tell you exactly how far the Steelers can go this season. And the rest of the crew might not like it. And many rookies have already reported to training camp, so let's do something we're calling the Rookie Report. Harry, Kevin, D. Wood, and Neek with me. Damian Woody, who is your most intriguing rookie quarterback entering camps this year?
It's Shedeur Sanders for me. I think this Cleveland quarterback situation is the most intriguing situation heading into training camp. You got 4 guys vying for the starting quarterback job. And listen, if you're the Cleveland Browns, you have 2 first-round picks in 2026. You got 2 rookie quarterbacks in Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. Who's going to emerge from those 2 in order to possibly have a chance to start for the Cleveland Browns in 2025?
We've been talking about Shedeur since before the draft. Kevin, what scenario for you is it where the Browns say, yes, Shedeur Sanders, you are our starter?
The number one thing any Cleveland Browns quarterback should do and has done who wanted to start is just wait. The quarterbacks in front of you will fail or cycle out, age out, whatever you want to call it. You have Joe Flacco there, who shouldn't be that hard to beat over the course of a season. You have Dylan Gabriel, who was a 3rd-round pick, who I don't think is particularly good. You might be able to beat him out in training camp if you do the work, look good in practice, drive the speed limit, which is important. That's job 1 for Shedeur Sanders after he got in trouble a couple weeks ago. But if I'm him, I just keep my head down, do my job, wait for November, December. You will get your opportunity. That is the history of Cleveland Browns starting quarterback.
Neek, what are your thoughts on Shedeur?
Yeah, no, I think the opportunity is going to be there. I don't think it's as easy as Kevin thinks to beat out Joe Flacco immediately. I think that particularly in that place, they're looking forward to a chance to get behind a quarterback that's going to take some shots downfield and make some big plays. But I do think that for all the rookie quarterbacks, particularly ones with big names like Shedeur Sanders and with a resume of some college success, he's going to get a chance. Like, they're not going to go through this season and never put him in the game because it's likely that they're going to be in position to draft draft another quarterback next year. We all know it's the most important position. And Kevin's right. He needs to be ready for his opportunity because he's going to get it, because the Browns are going to want to know before this season is over, do they have their quarterback of the future in the building? Because they might be in the draft next year, high again next year, drafting someone else.
Really well said. Harry, it might not be if, it might just be when. Give me a date, a time in the schedule where you think you could see Shedeur Sanders starting.
Yeah, I'm going to go Game 7 versus the Miami Dolphins.
Okay.
And they have a 3-game stretch where they play the Dolphins, they play the Patriots, and then also they play, I'm trying to remember, the New York Jets. So 3 games in a row, I think Shedeur Sanders can be able to be the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns moving forward. But you can't go this entire season and not play Shedeur Sanders nor Dylan Gabriel, knowing that you have 2 first-round draft picks in 2026. That'd be, I would say, organizational malpractice.
He's a 5th-round pick. It's not like they took him in the 1st round.
I don't care where they took him. Like, you got to see what he can do for your organization.
Fair enough. Kevin Clark, fantasy drafts are right around the corner. While these training camps are all there, give us a rookie running back that you're keeping your eye on.
There's a bunch of big names out there, and I think America's waiting for me to say it. I'm not going to say it. I'm going to say R.J. Harvey. Let's do R.J. Harvey. Stat time. America is crying out for it. 55 runs of 10 or more yards for Ashton Genty last year. Special, right? Probably dominated, right? Nobody even close. Wrong. R.J. Harvey had 54, 69 forced missed tackles, top 10 in the country in Power 4. R.J. Harvey especially goes to Denver. Sean Payton's going to know how to utilize him. They need a weapon to emerge. R.J. Harvey is going to matter in January on a stacked Broncos team.
I love it. Harry, you played on a lot of great Falcons teams. The Saints were the rivals. Sean Payton was the head coach of those teams. How does Sean Payton use his running backs, and why does R.J. Harvey fit so well?
So he loves to do it by committee, and I can't help but think about the days when they had Pierre Thomas. You also had Mark Ingram and Darren Sproles all in the running back room together, and Sean Payton utilized all those guys to the best of their abilities in their skill set. He never exploited their weaknesses, and I just love Sean Payton making this draft pick because I thought this was a glaring need for the Denver Broncos in 2025, along with the tight end position. But R.J. Harvey is a guy that's low center of gravity. He can hide behind offensive linemen, and he's not just a guy that you can hand the football to, but you can also get the football to in the pass game. So you can utilize him in multiple ways, and I love what he brings to the table for the Denver Broncos for 2025.
I challenge you folks to find another show talking R.J. Harvey in the second conversation of the morning. That's what we do. Let's get back to the NFC, though. Neek, give us a wide receiver that you're keeping your eye on that is a first-year player.
Yeah, I like Luther Burden III, who I think going to the Bears in situation, he had a season, 1,000-yard season 2 years ago, and he had a little bit of a down year, which I think is part of the reason why he slid. But I think in the Ben Johnson system, a player like this who's explosive and can make plays after the catch is going to be someone that they're going to look forward to getting him the ball early and letting him make big plays. I'm really excited to see how they use him in their offense because it all boils down to the talent of the player, the talent of the quarterback, and the talent of the play designer, and I think all those things match up pretty well in Chicago with Luther Burden.
Neek, we've been talking all week here about the other 3 teams in the NFC North. What's the ceiling for the Chicago Bears in that division this year?
Yeah, I think the Bears are going to win the division. I know I'm alone on this island.
Whoa, I like it. I like it.
You talked a bunch about R.J. Harvey and how good he was going to be, and you failed to mention one of the huge reasons why he's going to be good. It's the O-line. The O-line is good. And I think the same thing is true of the Bears. Their O-line is very talented, and I think if you can turn that O-line into something close to what they had in Detroit under Ben Johnson, this offense is going to be unstoppable.